Hello everyone. I hope all of you are doing really great. Welcome back to our Python course. So far we have covered quite a bit together. We started understanding what Python is, why is it so popular. We wrote our first program, learned about variables, and in the last lecture we explored different types of data. If you have been practicing alongside me, you are doing great job. And if you have missed a few practice questions, don't worry. Just make sure you come back and solve them later because every new topics built on the previous one, so without the previous one it may be an issue for you. Now today we are going to learn something that is completely changes the way that we program. Up until now, we every program we have written has had one job thing in common. We were giving values ourselves. Now let me show you what I mean. We were typing name equals to student is equals to 40 no, 23 print name print is. Now let me ask you something. Who decided the name should be student, and who decided the age should be 18? We did. We decided both that the value should be name should be student and the age should be 18. But a program never asked anyone else. It simply printed what we have written. Like we have just put it the value of name as a student and age as 23. And it printed what it has stored. Nothing more. Now imagine something like you are building a program for your school and you want to use your friend's name together. Should you open the code and change his name to the new name of your friend? And next day, the another friend will come and he want to change the name to his. He want to insert his name. Do you need to write this program every time? Uh, that's not the smart way. There is a more good way that will work for everyone. A good program should work for everyone, not just one person. So instead of writing everyone's name by ourselves, what if the program itself will ask what's your name, and the user will type his name and will press enter and the program will continue. Now exact same program asks thousands of different people and change accordingly. That's how a program works. Think of this problem that we are seeing on a screen. Where is dynamic user input means every person that's using the program needs different things. Almost every applicant you use everyday works like every application you use every works like this. When you open it, does that program already has your name? No, that doesn't have your name. You need to enter your name first. The same thing happen with your email, your address, and you think of a online booking website, shopping website, or a banking apps, delivery apps. They all ask for your usernames, then your addresses, so that they can process your further. and they wait until you enter some information. So this idea isn't something special to Python. This works almost for every program and almost every application. The user gives the information and the program has the information to work for him. So what exactly is user input? Don't worry, the sound name may sound technical, but the user inputs is simply any information that a user enters while running a program. That's it, nothing complicated. If you enter your name, that's the user input. If the application asks for your age, you enter the age. That's the user input. Same with if I ask you to enter two number for a calculator, those are also two user input. So from today onwards, our program won't always use fixed values. Instead, they will ask the user for the values they need. And honestly, this is where programs start becoming really fun. Because now your programs can actually communicate with users or a person using them. Alright, enough talking. Let's finally write our first interactive Python program. This is the moment you have probably waiting for. So let's open Python online compiler or the or any software where we are going to code and code alongside with me. Don't just watch the screen. So starting with, as you can see, we have inserted input function that works for intaking name. Now don't worry about the brackets and the spelling. By the end of this lecture, you will find it completely natural. Let's find a complete look at the syntax. And there we will print the name itself so that we can see the output that the user is giving, input that the user is giving. So after running, it will ask for your name, and when you will enter your name and click on enter, it will print your name as you can see on the screen. Let me run the program once more so that it can look more good. As you can see, the name is being twice printed. I think there is some error. Let me rerun. And here it works perfectly fine. Now let's read it from left to right. First we have name. This is our variable. And just like that, we have learned in the previous lecture where variables are getting stored. Values are getting stored in a variable. So whatever the user enters here will get stored in the name. And simple enough, next there comes the equal sign. It's assign the value that is coming from the user to the variable. This is the function that tell Python to take input, and the function is called input. It asks the user for some information and waits until the user type something and press enter, so that this input can take the information and can process it next. Now look carefully at this part. This part is called prompt. This will be shown on the display screen, output screen. Like here we have typed enter your name. So on the output screen, as you can see, it is asking for your name. and you typed your name here, and the as we have typed here print name, so the output is showing as your name. Without this message, enter your name, it may be confusion to the user that what is the program asking, or why is the blinking cursor being shown to you without what the program is asking. Most people may think the program had frozen, but if we display the messages like this, the user immediately understand that what the program is asking for. So here is a small tip for you all. Whenever you use input, always try to put a meaningful message inside as a prompt, so that it makes programs that are being used by the user to make easier to use. All right, enough. Let's actually move to slide. As you can see here, a human user can provide the information using keyboard entry, and Python will execute it and show the output on the screen. Here you can see variable name is where the memory is being at, where the information is being stored. The input equals to sign is where the it is used for assigning the value. Input is a built-in standard function, and the prompt message. As we have, you can see we have tried this. We have tried this program itself on the online compiler. So moving on, you all right? Let's try something. I am going to remove one line from this program, and can you guess what will happen to the program? Think like this: if I remove print name, will the Python program run after this also? Think about it. Let's run the program for you. See, the program is still running, and you can still the program is still running. As you can see the blinking cursor, this means it is waiting for you to enter in your any information, and when you enter the information, it is getting stored in the variable name. And as we are not using print function, so it is not getting printed. Now let's make another program. Now let's make our program a little more useful. Instead of asking just one piece of information, why don't just we ask three? Let's ask person's name, their age, and where the city and the city where they live in. Can Python do that? Can we use the input function multiple times? Let's find out. So here we are asking for name input, and now we will ask for their age. Here we will type the variable age, then we will ask, then we will use the function input function, and here we will give the prompt enter age. Uh, then we will ask for their city. So here we will enter city equal assigning function input, and in the input we will type for city, and here we will ask for the city. Now everything we enter, now we will run this program, and you can see it is asking for our name. So for the name we will just type any random name. After clicking on enter, it is asking for your age. For age, we can also enter any random numbers. So after age, it is asking for city. So for city, we'll type Mumbai, and after clicking enter, the program has run successfully. So as this program, you can see this program has run successfully. This means the value that we have entered, means the information that we have provided are getting stored in the variables, like name that I have put it Aryan is getting stored in the variable name. Same with age, and same with city. The city Mumbai is getting stored in the variable city. Now here is a small activity for you all. You can try this by yourself. Here the program is asking for you from you to and ask user for their name, their age, their college, school, or anything. Or you can even ask for city or main location or even dates also. Then the program is saying to print all the information that is getting asked before, and and you need to show the information here in the same format. So you can try it by yourself and you can see here in the code, but I suggest you to try first, and if any issue comes then you move on to the code. Now we are about to learn something new that almost surprises every beginner. Up to this point, everything looks pretty straightforward. We are asking for you from user for information and storing it inside any variable. But there's something interesting. Even if a user is typing a number, Python treats it as a number. What do you think? No, it doesn't treat it as a number. It treats it as a string. All right, let me show you what I am telling you. Let me switch to the programming interface. And here, as you can see, we have asked, we will just type here print type. In type, as you already remember, we use type function for showing the data type, and here after clicking entering is after checking the data type of age, you can see, oh, first we need to enter the information. So for the we will first enter, oh, what's happening, let me re-enter the name here, and name for age we will enter 12. For city we will enter Delhi, and clicking on enter, you can see I have asked for the age. I am asking for age type, data type, and you can here see it is giving that age data type is string. For more information I can type here age data types, so it will be more clear for you all. After clicking on run and entering any random values, you can see age data type is just still being string. Even if we have given 45, that is a digit. Now, here is one important thing that you need to remember. Whenever we use input function, Python treats whenever we use input function, Python treats whatever the user inputs as text. It doesn't matter what you enter, even if you enter numbers or even you enters any characters, that will be considered as a string. So remember this in one sentence: input always returns a string. Input always returns a string. If you remember only one thing from today's lecture, remember this. This will save you from later from many confusions. Now you might be wondering, why does Python do that? Think this like you are using a keyboard. When you press a key, does the keyboard know where you are entering a number, a name, or a password? No, it doesn't know what you are entering. So it simply sends the character to the computer. So Python plays it safe. It assumes everything coming from the keyboard is text. Later, if we want number, we will convert it ourselves. You will see in few minutes what I am telling. Now let's see why this is actually important. Imagine if we are building a simple calculator. We ask user to enter two numbers. When we add them together, sounds easy, right? But let me show you with the code. Here, let me erase everything for you. Here we will first ask for first number. Number 1 equals to ask using the function input, and here enter first number. Enter this will inside be inside quotation. So enter first number. Moving on to next number, we will ask here number 2 equals to input. Here we will type enter second number. Here we are asking for second number, and we will print the sum of both the numbers. So here typing for num1 and plus num2. What do you think? What will it print? It doesn't look anything wrong. But if I press enter, sorry, if I press on run button, it will it will ask for values. So for the first value, we will type 10, and oh, for the first value, we will type 10, and for the second number, we will write 20. And after clicking on enter, oh, I think we have done something wrong. Let me run it again for you. For the first number, we'll enter, the second number 20, enter, and you can see it is printing 10 and 20. What do you think? Did Python did a mistake? No, Python didn't done any mistake. This is what exactly how a string works. Remember, I have just told you both values are taken as strings, not as numbers. So when it is doing addition, it is taking both as strings, so it is just concatenating both face to face as 20, 10 and 20. Instead of putting the value at 30, it is taking it as 10 and 20. That's how we can use it. That's how we can use it in printing like words hello world, or even 10 or 20. It's like it just glues the both the characters, the first and the second strings. It just directly stick both, nothing else. Let me show you with a couple of examples, so it will be easy for you to understand. Moving on, removing this all. What if we will print Python plus quotation course? What do you think? What will it print? Let's run it and check out. You can see it's printed Python course. Now, as I have said you before, wait, let me add a space in between for easy convenience. Python course. But what if as I have said you earlier, the taken function is just concatenated both. Let me show you the same example with numbers. Print 100 plus under quotes 20. Why I'm using quotes? As we I have told you that input is always input function always thinks that everything you enters is a text, and take it as a string. So after running it, you can see it prints 120 instead of adding both. So now we have a problem. What if a user wants to enter numbers, and but Python keeps treating them as text? So how do we fix that? Thankfully, we have a solution for that called typecasting. Don't worry about the word typecasting. I will make you explain what typecasting is. Now, as we know, the problem whenever we use the function input, Python gives us a string. But what if we actually need a number? For example, a calculator or someone is or area of rectangle. For these programs, text won't work, means we need numbers. So how do we convert text into numbers? Here comes the function of typecasting. As I have said you before, don't worry about the name. It is much simple than you think it like someone imagine someone gives you number that is under quotation, like here you can see on the screen that is quotation 10 integer text as taken from the input. Now you want to do the calculation with it. First you need to convert it into real number, then you need to add and subtract or multiply or divide, anything you want to do. Here comes in play with typecasting. It changes our one data type into another. So in simple, typecasting is a way to change one data type into another data type. So let me show you with some examples. Here, let me change it to the previous code. As I am moving back to the previous code, here the output will be 10 and 20. After clicking enter, the program will run. We will put first number as 10, second number as 20, and after clicking enter, you can see it is printing 10 and 20. But in this I will change. Now I will we need here typecasting. For typecasting, here we are going to use int bracket. So this is called type. So this will be used for converting strings to text. So for that we will add int in front of this int, and here also int, and closing both bracket parentheses using parenthesis closing parenthesis. And after clicking on run, it will ask for 10, and then it will ask for first number, then second number, and clicking it runs normally. So what is going on in this, let me explain to you. Here, as a user, I have entered 10 first, and the input receives it. At this point, it is here we have entered 10. The input receives it as 10. Here it is still a string. Then here comes in role int. Int converts that string into an integer, and finally, the integer is being stored in the variable using assignment operator. And the compiler flow is from first the user types 10, it goes into the input is taking it as a string, and the string is converted into int, and int is getting stored in the number one. Same happening with num2. Here the user is typing 20, the 20 is being given to input function. The input functions is from there it is getting converted into integer, and from integer it is getting stored in number 2. And from there if we will run, as you can know, it simply runs as 30, as both are integers. So it is running normally. As we add two integers, it, as you know, it will give a sum of integers. Now let's do something interesting. What if I type 10 and hello instead of numbers? Will it work? Let's check it. Oh, see, it is getting error. As you can see, hello is a text, and text can't be converted into integers. So alphabets is text, and text is counted under strings, and strings only numbers can be converted into integers, or floats can be converted into integer, not strings. or text, you can say text. So here you can see that number was not working. So that was because we need to enter a valid whole number. Don't worry about handling these errors right now. We will learn about how to handle these types of error in exception handling. If what if users enter in text instead of number, we will study or more about it in exception handling chapter, or you can say for the in the course. Now, if suppose we are working with decimal numbers, like we are working with prices, temperature, height, weight, or radius of circle. These are usually values that contains decimal point. For this situation, Python gives us another typecasting function named float. Let me show you with another. So let me erase the code for you and retype it with another example. Taking the variable as price assignment operator using input and taking the price inter product price. And after clicking on enter, print price. And as I have told you that we are going to use the float, so here we will use float. This will convert it into decimal numbers. After clicking run, it will ask for the price. We will enter any decimal value, and you can see the decimal value is getting printed. What if you are thinking that it will work with integer too? So from any integers or float to back to strings using the string functions. For that, let me show you with an example. Here, moving on to again, let me erase it for you, changing it back to int, and here we are going to convert it to string str, and here we are going to print a string, and here we are going to print data type of price. Uh, Data type. So for that we are using the function type, and in that we are going to use this. After clicking on run, it will ask for the price. As it is integer, we will go put whole number. On clicking a whole number, we are getting 20 as integer, and then again the 20 is being converted into a string. So basically these are being used to convert back any numbers to strings. So integers, floats can be converted into strings, and we will use them throughout our Python journey. So awesome. Now we know that how to take numbers from users and how to convert them to correct data types. Now this means we are going to finally build a real life project using this in the next part. So we will build a quite a simple calculator using this, or even converting temperatures, or few simple examples. Now we will see it what we have learned till now. So first we are going to build the calculator. For calculator, we are moving again to the screen. Now moving back to taking the both number, converting it into integer, as we have discussed it before. So now here we are going to use the simple calculator. For that we are going first with add and printing the both value of both number num1 plus num2. Same goes with printing subtraction, division, multiplication, all four. So let me type and come back. After typing, you can see on the screen now. Can you guess the output? What will be the output? Let me first run the program for you all and enter both numbers. So first number will be 15 and second number will be 5. Now can you guess the what will be the next outputs? As you can guess, it will be simple calculations. You can see addition 20, subtraction 10, multiplication 15 times 5, which is 75, and division, which is a float number, is 3.0. Everything works exactly as expected. Now, about how far we have come, thinking about how far we have come a few videos ago, our program could only print text. Now we can take users input and perform calculations and showing the result. This is what real programming, and now it has just begun. Let's build another useful program. Suppose it is, let's do with area of rectangle. Moving on to the screen, and let me type it. Type and come back. Let me type and come back. So as you have seen that I have written the code. So here we are taking length of and width, taking first input as length, which is then being converted to float, and then the second input as width, that is being converted into float again, and then we are multiplying both using the multiplication operator, and then we are storing it in the area and then printing it the value as area. So for that we are giving first values at 10 sec. Oh, we are giving first value as 10, second value as 5, and then you can see the value is getting, we are getting back is 50, and as you can see we are taking both as float, so we are getting back float value. Let's try one more example with area of circle, this one. So let's run it on coding platform. As you can see, I have written the code taking the radius and then calculating the value and printing the area of the circle. After clicking, we will put the radius 5, and you can see the area of circle is coming out using the program. Now, one small tip for you. Whenever you are writing programs like this, don't try to memorize the code. Instead, try to build the logic. Ask yourself three questions. What type of input do I need? What calculations should I perform? And what we are going to display on the screen? If you can answer these three, you can build hundreds of different programs. Programming is all about logic, not memorization. Then here comes with this one more program that is converting Celsius to Fahrenheit, which is little bit complex. You seems complex, but it is quite easy. Let me again come back. Here we are mainly going to use this formula of converting Celsius to Fahrenheit. Don't worry about memorizing. We are just going to use this in our programs. Once we understand the logic, the code is very easy. So let me move back to the coding platform and retype everything for you. So here we are first taking Celsius equals to float, then taking the input function. As we are taking the digits in float, so we are converting it in float. Enter the Celsius. Mainly we are using it in float for more precisions. Then we are using Fahrenheit, and here we are entering the value Celsius and using the formula 9 divided by 5 and multiply and adding 32 to it. and then printing temp temperature in Fahrenheit. Here we are using this, then we'll put Fahrenheit here, the variable Fahrenheit here, and moving on to, we will put run, click the run button, and after clicking we will enter 25 degrees as Celsius, and after clicking enter you can see the answer is coming 77.0, which is absolutely perfect as our converter is perfectly working. Notice something, the program isn't very different from the previous ones. We are still using the same steps of taking input, processing the data, displaying the output. That's the basic structure of any program, or almost many programs of the Python world. Once you understand this flow, learning becomes very easier. Now it's your turn. Take a small challenge for you. Don't escape. Practice makes a person more good at it. You need to create a student information program. You need to ask, as I have shown you the previous one, name, age, college, branch one. So let me show you again here, this one. So basically, you will take all this and convert them in using typecasting, and then convert it into the values. And don't worry about getting stuck. You will become very easy when you will start practicing. Here you will use int. Here you can use, here you don't need to use anything as these are strings. So for in this only you need to use a string, nothing else. Here are some assignments that you can practice by yourself. So for the first assignment, you can see the it is you need to ask for name, age, and current city, and print all variables at once. Another question you need to, as we have tried this one, and this time you need to take it as float and then do the calculations. Now, before we finish, let's quickly revise today's lecture. Today we have learned how to take input from users using the input function. We have learned input always returns a string. There we understood why 10 plus 20 sometimes become 20 instead of 30. After that, we learned typecasting using int, float, and str. Finally, we built several small programs, a calculator, area calculator, a temperature converter, and some of the assignments that you need to do with. Now, before I move on, I have a small request for you all. Don't just watch the code, try it yourself, change the values, experiment, try different inputs. Don't be afraid of making mistakes. Every programmer makes mistakes. The important thing is you understand them, learn them, improve from them. In the next lecture, we are going to learn about Python operators. We will understand how Python performs calculations, compares values, evaluate conditions. These concepts will become the foundation for writing more smarter programs. So make sure don't miss it. Thank you for watching this video. Take care, keep practicing. As always, happy. Thank you.